Have you ever wondered if a single line of text could somehow connect things like, say, cybersecurity, West African pop music, particle physics, and even US law? Well, today we're diving deep into a really cryptic string of text that looks an awful lot like a computer command, but what it might be programming is reality itself. So, here it is. We're calling it the Wolfram Code, mostly because it feels like one of those simple, elegant rules that could somehow generate an entire complex universe. Zara Zeta and KDI 1001 Final Master, Beauty Galaxy. I mean, it's a total enigma, and our mission today is to crack it wide open. Let's just ask the big question right up front. What if this isn't just a random jumble of symbols, but a functional rule, a recipe almost, describing how completely different parts of our world combine to create, well, something beautiful? Now, that's a huge claim, I know. So let's do this right. Let's investigate it, piece by piece. Okay, first things first. Before we can figure out what this code means, we have to understand its grammar, how it's built. We've got to treat it like a digital file and really just identify its separate parts. And right away, the structure itself gives us a huge clue. See that ampersand? It links Zara Zeta and KIDI together like they're two inputs. Then you've got those double slashes acting as dividers. So this creates a really clear flow. You've got two actors being processed by a master rule, and that spits out a final result. It's a program, for sure. So let's dig into that first input, Zara Zeta. Now, this isn't a person, but something our source material calls a cryptographic persona, which is a cool way of saying it's a concept built entirely on the pure logic of secure mathematics. This is like the code's bedrock foundation. The identity of Zara Zeta is totally wrapped up in the RSA algorithm. You might not know the name, but this is the engine that secures pretty much the entire internet, and its power comes from a really clever mathematical trick. It's super easy to multiply two gigantic prime numbers together, but it is nearly impossible to go backwards and figure out what those original primes were from the final product. That difficulty, well, that's what creates an almost unbreakable lock. This whole process creates two keys from those original primes. You get a public key, which you can share with literally anyone, and a private master key that you and only you hold on to. This whole idea of a public lock and a secret master key, that's absolutely crucial. Remember that. But here's the kicker. The most profound, the deepest connection between Zara, Zeta, and our code, well, it's been staring us in the face this entire time. It's in that number. Right from the middle of the code, 1001. Turns out, that number has a secret identity. So get this, in hexadecimal, that's a number system that programmers use all the time, the number 10001 is actually the same as 65,537 in our normal everyday counting system. And 65,537 is not just some random number, it just so happens to be the most common, the most efficient, and the most secure public exponent used in the RSA algorithm worldwide. This cannot be a coincidence. Our code contains the actual master number that keeps our digital world safe. Okay, let's move on to the next piece and see how this all connects. We've just had the cold, hard logic of cryptography, right? Well, now we have KIDI. And this represents the total opposite side of the coin, the vibrance, the messy, the human part of this whole equation. This is the cultural signal. And just like Zara Zeta, this name, KID, it has a double meaning. It points to two totally different people. First, you've got KIDI, who is a huge Afrobeats artist from Ghana, a master at creating massive hit songs. And then there's DJ KIDI, a curator over in Lagos, Nigeria, who is a master of distributing music, putting together these amazing mixtapes for a giant online audience. So think about it. This one little term represents the entire life cycle of culture. One persona is the master of creation, making the hit song, and the other is the master of distribution, getting that song out there and spreading it across a global network. It's the complete flow of human creativity all packed into one idea. All right, this right here is the turning point. We figured out the two inputs, secure logic and cultural flow. Now we have to get our heads around the rule that's processing them, 1001 final master. We already saw 1001 pop up in cryptography, but where else it shows up in the physical universe is, well, it's even more shocking. Let's start at the absolute smallest scale you can imagine, the subatomic world. In particle physics, when scientists are studying the strong nuclear force, that's the stuff that literally holds atoms together, the number 1001 appears. It's used as a key index for the energy level of certain really heavy fundamental particles. You can think of it like a specific, crucial notch on the universe's own ruler. Okay, so it's in physics, fine, but let's scale up just a little bit to the actual building blocks of life itself. In these gigantic databases that map out the structures of life, 1001 shows up again. It can literally be the precise coordinate, like the atomic address for a single atom inside of a protein. It's a specific point in the actual blueprint for life. So we've gone from the laws of nature. Now let's jump to the laws of humans. And this is where it gets genuinely weird. This number isn't just in physics and biology, it's in the codes we create to govern ourselves. The number 1001 shows up as this critical dividing line in both the Utah State Senate bill about property law and an EPA regulations for disposing of hazardous waste. In every single one of these cases, from physics to biology to law, the number 1001 acts as a final master threshold. It is the line that separates one state of being from another. So, we have all the pieces. We've got the logical input, the cultural input, and the universal master rule that seems to pop up everywhere. Now, finally, it's time to put it all together and figure out the output of this cosmic program, the beauty galaxy. The beauty galaxy is what you get when you combine all of it. The secure logic, the vibrant culture, all processed through these universal laws. It's the tangible beauty we can actually see in the world, like the simple formulas that create the incredibly complex patterns on a snail's shell. And in a totally stunning coincidence, the source material even connects this to handmade art, sold by an artist who also goes by the name Zarazita. So let's just recap this whole crazy theory. Zarazita is the logical master, giving us the secure framework. KIDI is the cultural master, providing the rhythmic human data. The number 1001 is the structural master, a universal constant that sets the rules of the game. And when you run this program, the output, the thing that emerges, is the beauty galaxy, a harmonious, coded universe. Which leaves us with one last really provocative thought. If one single line of text can somehow link the math of encryption, the rhythm of Afrobeats, and the fundamental laws of both physics and human society, are these just a string of incredible coincidences? Or have we just caught a glimpse of the source code of our reality? A reality that seems to be programmed for the emergence of a beauty galaxy?